and Alex making pizza or letting
Alex
dogs out?
Alex went for a big poo.
Yeah, I'm about halfway done.
Ah!
Uh,
I have to live with this man.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to live with you, so watch yourself.
Very true. Off you go.
So yeah, that's what the icicles did. What were you doing next? That's when the doorbell went, sorry.
I was just looking on Reddit at battle maps. I've found possibly the worst map I can ever imagine playing on. And it is a labyrinth, but it's a circular labyrinth, and they've got so much of the squares cut off like a third of a wall and a quarter of a wall. Like, I just wouldn't even want to play on it.
God, they finished it though.
Yeah, but anybody can finish a shit map, Harrison.
I want to play on the Mad Cartographer's Labyrinth.
Yeah, you do. It's been finished this month. This month
Maybe-
is
Oh my
Captain
god, is it
Month.
still not finished? Jesus Christ.
Hey, as soon as it's finished and released, the Feros squad are going to do it as another one shot.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Am I the Theros squad?
Yes, you were Volcan.
Nice.
So, although you could be somebody else if you wanted to.
I would consider it because I feel like I feel that Vulcan and what's her face, the undead scary lady, didn't necessarily match the rest of the tone. I think we're both suffering from too used to Curse of Strahd to make really edgy character syndrome.
Well, no, I feel like Aralis, Jack's satire, lent more into the sort of serious vibe. I think it was just Wan just being a Disney princess in the same campaign.
The character seemed that way, but the way it was role played seemed less serious. I suppose I could play Vulcan as more light-hearted. It's just he's just built as a combat machine.
He was just Greek. He was just Greek Halvor.
How dare you?
But yeah, I'm gonna run that as soon as it's done. Not gonna nerf your characters, just gonna buff them more and just have crazy absolute steroids labyrinth. And then have at the end just a sudden and unexpected Cedric Diggory. A tri-wizard up in the centre. So do we have Lindsay? Do we have Alex and Alex?
We have
Are we all
Lindsay.
here?
We are.
Okay, yeah. So that's what your icicles do. You have 8 of them. They are pocketed. What are we doing about rest?
I wouldn't mind a quick rest. I am down a little bit on my hit points, so
I mean, I think we're discussing going to
this
bed
is-
for the night.
Oh, like
you've
night
been
night.
going about 8 hours. By the time that this full excavation has taken place, we're talking sort of over 9 hours. Over 9 hours since you set off.
I mean, there's no point exhausting ourselves. So sure, this is a really good place to stop. Let's stop.
As I am generally doing okay. I've used a couple of spell slots then. Did you want me to use any more for the excavation?
No, the rest, you weren't drill boring it down. You said you were pressing. Did you take the rest,
Yeah.
weren't you? I imagine you wouldn't once you were starting to uncover stuff, you probably didn't want to slam a huge, giant, superheated nickel ball onto it all. I imagine you're probably being quite careful.
Cool. Then yeah, I'm okay with the missing spell slots, so I'm going to spend the evening meditating on my codex to resummon Angelo.
Nice.
Has everybody been? Who was helping me with that? Is everybody resting whilst I was doing that?
What with the rock?
Cube? Yeah.
No, I was helping you.
Okay, so we're starting our rest after post rock uncoverage.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think it's 5 hours to resummon Angelo,
It is.
and then I will see if I've got a new spell I can learn.
And however, throughout this rest, Calder is basically glued to your side. And just keeps looking up here and nodding.
This skinny, frail man that is protecting him.
I mean, you're still the biggest. And you're still quite built. You're not as unnaturally built as you were for a while, but you're still the clear bear in the group.
It's true. It's true.
Turns out you're also pathetic.
I'm just tired all the time.
Got Emmy. So yeah, Bartandalus, at the end of your period of focus, the book sort of jolts in your hands for a second, and out of the void in the middle, Angelo comes back out.
I like that. Good job, DM. You've been waiting for that. I don't remember that first time. Did you have it the first time?
No, I've got loads of generic spell effects now, and that seemed appropriate for what you were doing there.
Nice. Then in that case, I think you need to have me recording myself making that noise. Then from my no. I think I've got all the spells in my spell box. We'll just carry on for a minute. I'm just having a look what I can do from my spell books.
I remember what bleeding effect I had on for Angelo's light now. That was it. There we go. Excellent. So yes, you may apply another rest. Oh, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I couldn't matter what menu I clicked, the light token wouldn't disappear off the screen on Angelo. But yes, you may apply a long rest to yourselves if anyone was still waiting to do one.
I cannot.
Yes, you cannot, because you chose knowledge.
Knowledge is power.
Halvor, please make me a Constitution saving throw. You feel okay?
I'm not sure I do feel okay.
No, as you hear the thunder, your blood gets up a little bit, and you sort of sat peering out into the dark blizzard and hearing the snow thunder coming in.
You draw close, Jokelson.
Close to what? You or a challenge?
One, and then the other. Are you prepared to prove yourself worthy of my mantle?
As prepared as I'll ever be.
Grip your axe and invoke my name.
I grab it and say, in the name of Zrinhala.
Everybody else is hearing this thunder going off as well. As you invoke his name, you feel emboldened by it, and you feel strength flow slightly up your arms and into your chest. And you
God, at
grip
this stage,
the
I'll take
axe.
anything.
You grip the axe, sort of enjoying the feel of your increased strength on it. As yes, your strength has increased slightly.
Feels good.
Always remember it is I who gives you strength.
Who does what now?
Cut out
Who
of it.
gives you strength.
Solemn silence. I don't respond to that.
Okay. Post rest. Oh, we haven't had any Angelo noises. That doesn't seem right. Excellent. Yeah, post resting up as you're getting up and ready. Calder seems quite chipper. He's sort of ready before all of you. Sort of trying to help take the tents down before you're even like fully out of yours, Cora. And just seems keen to be moving on. What we all do before we set off? I presume we're eating some more raisins.
Indeed.
Trail mix.
Yep. Okay, then setting off. Who is leading the way?
Me.
Okay, make me your survival check, please.
Already on it, man.
It's a day of good rolls. You lead the way. Several times Caldor begins to like overtake you and sort of points and corrects. Learn to be sort of silent now. Not wasting words that you don't understand. But just sort of direct. A couple of times that the path's becoming really difficult to navigate now. Several times you think you're following like the ascent that makes sense, Cora, and he sort of grabs your elbow and sort of shakes his head and tugs you a different way.
Does he seem like he's getting excited like we're close by?
He definitely seems to have a bit more energy in him than you've seen out of him all the time so far.
He doesn't look worried or...
Make me an insight check. He just seems to be keen, a bit of a sense of urgency.
Okay, I let him lead me.
And he leads you to the mouth of a cave. Just a single, like an overhang covered in snow that just is open enough that the black rock inside is jarring against like the snow surrounding everywhere else.
And he's indicating he wants us to go in?
Yeah. He's pulling you towards it with a slight smile.
Any sign of people having been there? There's nothing that we can see in the mouth of the cave that's like any human objects or any footprints around.
Make me a survival check. If you're looking for tracks and you find nothing except just where the snow begins to turn to rock going into the cave entrance. What looks to be like a dropped or discarded torch. Soaked through now and useless, but a torch has been dropped here. And Calder again sort of tugs and goes to takes a few steps into the cave and just turns and beckons.
I turn back to Poe. Sorry, Bartandalus. It's been a long time since I've been Poe. Jesus. And say, do you think that you should have a little word with him and see what's actually in the cave before we go in?
Does it look like? Sorry, I was trying to read spells at the same time. This isn't the behind the waterfall area.
No, you've seen no sign of any sort of waterfall so far.
Okay. I mean, if he's eager to go this way, I guess he's taking us the right way.
But shouldn't he go and introduce us? Or, if we just walk in there with their son or the heir to the leadership, maybe they won't be that happy to see us.
Well, if we're going into a cave, even if he seems confident, perhaps one of us should go in front, just in case.
I think until there's somebody else that we need to speak to, maybe hold off on the spells, just for now. If the kid
Should
wants
we-
to take us somewhere, then he's got us this far. I figure we just trust him.
Should we light the way? I don't want it to seem like we're trying to hide from them, like we're trying to sneak up on them.
Well, I mean, he can tell them we're approaching. He can tell them who we are. He can tell them that we've helped, and then if someone approaches us, then I guess I can speak to them.
Clara's spidey senses are tingling, but she'll follow him.
Okay. So who's going in first? Or second?
Well, I've got good night vision, so me, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, but we're going into a cave. It's presumed it's going to be even darker in there because it's not the light reflecting from the snow.
I have not cast dark vision as of yet.
Yeah, but you know what it's like when it snows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. Although when we're out there, I don't think it's necessarily bright anyway because we're out in a blizzard, so
Yeah.
it's kind of mitigated by. But otherwise, you are absolutely right.
Well,
Cora, how much do you know about ropers?
nothing.
No.
Nothing.
So as you step in, you see that it's quite a sharp descent that slowly turns a corner, and Calder sort of is almost like jogging ahead a little bit now and disappears around the corner. And as you follow, you see that after a bit of a dip and an angle, the cave ends and just like opens up, and you see more snow again. It's a bit of like a sharp drop, more of like a tunnel than a cave. And as you get to the entrance, you see that there is snow and a bit of masonry ahead. I will now bring you all onto the next combat, the next scene.
Are we talking masonry like ruins or
You'll
masonry?
see now.
Okay. So like ruins?
You see, yes, ruins stretching off ahead through the ice.
Presumably still no footprints or any marks of other humans that we could have come across.
None whatsoever. There are fuck my D&D characters on it. Sorry. There's an extra fella with you.
Yeah, didn't notice that.
Just letting you know, Deanne, that with my additional 3 hours of rest whilst everyone else was resting last night, I also learned the fly spell from my codex, from my calamitous spellbook.
Okay.
Added that to my known spells.
So yeah, Calder is walking straight ahead, off out into walking confidently straight into the dark now at this point.
I don't know what's happening with this map, but I can see all of it.
Weird. When I click on you, you can't.
It is all kind of like weirdly darked out, but
Is
not.
that just because Angelo's there?
Who do you have selected?
I mean, with either of them, when I drag it around, I can pretty much see everything. Like, but it flagged up because I was like, oh, this is a Shapeku map, and I'm like, that's not even within my vision. I mean, I can see to the other side of the map.
I can't see shit.
How about now?
Now I can see a light area, but I will.
Hold on,
take
sorry. What I mean now. So how about now?
Yep, I can still see everything. Let me hit F5 just because it might be something screwed on my end.
I think that is. I have occasionally seen people say, like, when something's changed on a scene through a fog of war, it showed them everything. It's pretty stupid.
Okay, now I can't see everything.
And it's very dark.
It's very dark. Yeah, I mean, I can still see outside of my vision.
Yeah, because you have Angelo's vision as well.
Yeah, but I can see to. Can you see my mouse? I can like see in dim light up to here.
Have you not changed your token back, your vision back on the macro to reflect that you don't have dark vision at the moment?
I thought it did it. You had to attach it to every scene.
Try clicking it and change it back to normal. You're 10-foot dim. But when I click on you, for me, you can see that far. In fact,
Nope.
if I get rid of Angelo's light,
I can see that far.
For
Apparently,
me, you can only see to there on mine.
I can see what my light area is, but I can see all the way to here. So let me have a look. What can I change at my end?
Yeah, just run the macro again. And when it asks what vision you want, pick 10-foot dim.
Okay. 10-foot dim. Nope, that's now giving me vision 10-foot dim to there. Weird, man.
Oh, it doesn't matter for this scene.
I mean, to be fair, this is a really well-known Shapeku map, so I know exactly what the layout is anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'll show you a pic. I just took a screenshot, but yeah, it's not a big deal. I'll show you what I could see.
That's weird.
Yeah. Now I can see that.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, Calder sets off.
So I will ignore anything outside of my thing here. Oh, do you know, should I just put a fucking light spell on? Because we're in the dark now, so do we want a light spell on, Harbour?
I would like one because I can't see shit. Ooh, that is bright. Ah!
Just see the boy now. The boy's right at the edge of.
I see Strahd von Zarovich now.
What? Where?
Next to me.
Ah!
Part of the party. Hey, Strahd. Long time no see, buddy.
I was just looking around at this, what looks like a pile of bones to the west of me. And bones.
Yeah.
And as
Pillars in the way.
Calder near enough breaks into a run, Cora, and you see him heading out the edge of your vision. You see him call out a couple of words in that vaguely, loosely
Things
recognizable
that look like
I guess.
as Druidic tongue.
Druidic. He's speaking Druidic now.
Well, you've noticed.
Oh yeah, no,
similarities.
I've known that already. Yeah.
So have we gone? Are we like inside a cave complex now?
No, you're back outside.
It's gone
It's
just
just a
through like a
little-
tunnel area.
Yeah, just like a little tunnel area and came back out. You really were nose deep in your spell book, weren't you?
I really was. Yeah, I didn't want to fuck up how many spells I was preparing by accident.
What are all these like flag things on the floor?
The flags.
Yeah, tattered old flags.
That's weird.
Yeah, and he keeps yelling a couple of words as he runs, and yeah,
Keep up, bot handlers. I don't even know where he's gone.
disappears into the dark.
And Cora can see him, yeah?
Nope.
Oh. Well, you
Oh, I've seen him. I've seen him.
He obviously feels at home. We're all a casual jog.
He's led us here as a sacrifice.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The map doesn't reflect this properly, but there is a dragon hit. No, at the end of these ruins, it continues to this.
Okay. Not that we can see that.
Can. Not very well.
I mean, it depends how far back it goes. We can't. I mean, that looks like it's
Just a
like
painting on a wall.
It's a waterfall.
We're doing what we can with the maps we've got, Bartan.
No, well, I'm saying, how far back does it go? It looks like it. Are we? So we're like at the other end of this, then, yeah? We're near that wall over there.
You're about 50, 60 feet away from the waterfall. The waterfall is just beyond the end of the map.
Right, so we can't see it because I can't see beyond my light. That's what I'm saying. So we can't see the end of the cavern.
What?
It's not a cavern.
You're not in a cavern. You're outdoors again. We said.
Okay, right. It's pitch black out here. I can't see beyond the realm of my light spell.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
there's
but
like a waterfall over there,
You're following him and continue. Yeah, Cora points it out.
and you can hear it.
You
No,
can't
it's
get
frozen.
Oh yeah, that can't you hear that?
You hear
that frozen
the
water.
constant tinkling of ice falling to the floor. Who's up highest? I think Cora has actually. As you're going along, heading towards this sort of grey rise and shape you can see at the edge of your vision, Cora, you do just hear in the ice next to you.
Does it sound like ice cracking or like
No, when you glance down at a sound that's very familiar to you, you see
Like
an
an arrow
is embedded in the ice. And then you hear another shout from Calder in the distance.
I'm
Okay,
not sure they
now
do know
I'm
that we
casting-
come in peace.
Does he sound like alarmed or like, like calling out like, I'm here, like intonation?
Sounds like there's a little bit of alarm in it.
Okay, I'm gonna cast tongues now because now
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah, and it's a one action spell, isn't it?
It is, yes. I will actually cast it.
Yeah, as it kicks in, you immediately sort of hear Caldo calling out, "They helped me! They helped me! It is okay!" And you hear a gruff woman's voice, and then torchlight goes up ahead, and you see two figures. A woman stood there with a bow pointing at you, and a large set man stood next to her. And I will show you now what they look like.
Ooh,
This is she.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I know, yeah, that's her name.
Clan Ubisoft.
This is this is he, like the superior looking Halvor.
It looks like the love child of Halvor and Rollo.
I thought it was like Halvor and Zach Wild.
Halvor and Mossy.
Oh no, that's just another ginger. Yes. So the man says nothing. The woman is like, "Get inside.
I will take care of this. What have they done to you? Where is your mother?
And like he's like waiting for an answer from him, so just like cuffs him across the head a little bit and steps forward and just raises the bow and holds it, and it's just like,
Leave this place!
We held the boy. He'd been caught by the white wolves. We made sure he wasn't lunch.
Lunch?
How-
What is this lunch?
How do you know our words?
The same way that one of yours did, one that we met before, Cryael. I have similar abilities as he.
You're not an elder.
No. But I have my own ways and my own powers that I speak to, much like he did.
her eyes sort of flit to Halvor as you're talking and back a couple of times, and sort of brow furrows a bit. She always seems a bit like surprised that you're talking so much.
Do I clock this?
Make me an insight. I think you do. I've said it.
Fair enough then, well, I'll take it either. So yeah. I am the one with the words, but he is the leader of our group. I kind of like bow my head slightly.
She nods, like she like makes sense now. And to Hal-
Fireball. I'm sure he's in charge.
You have our thanks. And we wish you good fortune.
We could do with assistance, some help, if you would be willing.
What help? What assistance?
We seek our way through the mountains to reach a place you might be familiar. It is a temple. Temple where the bricks are like fire. It was a bad place.
The man, well, she says nothing, but the man just slowly under his breath.
Do you think he speaks of the dream hall? Shut up. I know this place of which you speak.
And the big fella steps forward.
You describe the dream hall. What business have you there? How know you even of it?
There is a great evil that plagues the lowlanders. They have
A wily goat would plague lowlanders.
I hear the goats up here are pretty fearsome.
Not in my setting.
You know of the devil man, Strahd?
Strahd, yes. I knew of him. We hear stories of him. And how our forebear slew him.
Maybe once. But he has risen again and again, many times. He is aided by dark magic, unnatural magic, dark powers that have plagued what was once Balanok. that enslaved the huntress. Ah!
Continue your words.
Oh, by the way, everybody else can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying to the other guys, they know what I'm saying. I'm not speaking in their language. Everybody understands what I'm saying.
Okay.
So he speaks in a way where like he repeats all the questions back to them in the answer.
No. Just the way tongues works. If you understand the language, I'm basically speaking in every language at once at the moment, so you all understand it. You just don't understand what they're saying. So I'm trying to kind of, I'll try and paraphrase his words where I can. The hag, La Saga, the Swamp Witch. You know of her?
I know of no such witch.
She's known better by the forest folk more than the mountain, I'm sure.
Forest talk.
She is a plague on their lands, much like the Amber Temple and the Dagger Dog is on yours.
Spits down into the snow and just like stamps his foot on it and grinds his boot in a bit. Like,
The plague hound. The bane of this mountainside. Or at least the greatest of them.
Even more of late, it's taken the boy's mother and father. She was your chieftain, I believe.
And it's a great shame. The chieftain was my sister. There will be an alting now.
An alting?
A fight for who will be the new chief. It should be Volcan, but I fear with him being in the dream hall it may be Kol, and that will not be good.
There is no way to postpone it, to wait for Vulcan to come back.
He may not come back. It all depends, and time will not be wasted. Kol will move to have the old thing be as soon as he finds out.
And I nod and say, one moment, and I'll relay everything to the group, the bits that I kind of like missed out in the subtext and stuff.
I just realised, Halvor, did I say Volcan?
You did.
It's you were talking about it. I meant to say Volkos.
Okay. I was like, are we going to end up fighting the character I built?
Oh god, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope he has all the equipment.
So I explained to everybody where we're up to.
Right.
What do you have against? Not Volkos, the other one.
Volcan.
No,
Colin.
Volcan is the wrong one. Is it Volkos or Volcan now?
It's Volkos.
Okay.
That's even more Greek.
Kol is impetuous, corrupt, prone to his own rages and satisfying his own whims. He has the strength to claim the mantle, but not the mind for it.
He does not have one such as our leader has me. One to help steady his hand and guide him with wisdom. And I kind of look over my shoulder at Hal.
Deception.
Alvor nods wisely.
Krael always advised, but he has not returned from the dead giving. None of them have. And yet you say you met them. Did they fall to you?
Almost. But we made peace, and then they helped us. But they are all dead now, but not by our hand. By an enemy we share.
I say to Poe, perhaps worth mentioning the tree. That seemed to be what convinced the others.
I thought his voice would be deeper.
That convinced the others.
And I say, I kind of like smirk a little bit as Halvor's been answering. He was like,
He said he thought your voice would be deeper.
Tell him that I'll let my fist be deeper.
Wait, don't.
Wow.
and I,
Just imagining Valvor now being like in Infinity War when Star Lord's trying to sound more powerful and regal in front of Thor.
You will not be mocking me today, sir.
I sent him say,
The giving, the tree, we call it the Gulthias tree. Evil in nature. It was there that we made a deal that we would try and return it to its pure form. Return it to the Huntress. One of those that had befouled Balanok, Babalasaga, the Swamp Witch, Krael, and your people. They came with us to try and defeat her. They all fought bravely, but they perished in the process. It was Krael who delivered the final blow upon the hag before he succumbed to her trickery and deceptive magics. He lied.
Good deaths, then. Did you place them upon the tree afterwards? But handlers.
I nod once solemnly. Would you like me to roll a deception check? Oh,
Yeah, go on.
let's see how convincingly I nod.
All in the eyes and the hips. Okay.
Do you have names?
I am Bartandalus,
And I look to the others.
I step forward, point to my chest, and say, Cora.
As you're making introductions, the woman is like halfing around behind him with her bow drawn, and her bow is pointed directly at Sir Eric as you're talking.
Alvor, Extra deep.
Halfor. He is gonna come up to you, Halvor, and he doesn't try to hide it. He is going to attempt to just with both hands give you like one big shove in the chest.
God, if only I was strong. Oh!
He it's very much Man of Steel. He goes to like the guy in the pub. He goes to give the bit, and he's about a good 3 or 4 inches taller than you, and very wide. And he just goes in both hands on the chest, and you let your foot goes back, but it gets purchased on something, and you just push back, and you don't take a step back, and he just
Thunder rolls.
Yeah, he just absolutely thunder rolls, and he just takes like a bit of a staggered half step backwards in surprise, and just bursts out laughing. Big hearty laugh, and then just leans out again with one hand and gives you like a couple of massive claps on the shoulder.
I just give him a nod.
I like your leader.
Pussy, you should have double bodied him and pushed him over.
I can't do it more than once.
He's taken 2 levels of exhaustion.
You got away with that one. He is indeed very strong.
I'd like to see what he's worth with that axe. Maybe later. You you have this thing with you. Pointing his finger in the direction of Cora and then past her to Sir Eric.
We
I thought
do.
you meant me, this thing, cheeky
You were
sod.
meant to.
He is a guide. Another one that we have picked up on our travels that has been useful. However, the boys explained that he is not likely to be welcome to your village, and we do not wish to upset you or your kin.
He looks at
Okay.
Halvor. He's like,
You speak for the dead man.
And I look to Howard and I say, he wants to know if you speak for him. And I look over at Sir Eric.
I nod.
And I will speak for your surprisingly strong yet soft-voiced chieftain. Your dead man may enter.
We appreciate you allowing this. It is a great gesture.
What aid do you seek then?
Some respite from the winds and the mountain. Seems to be worse of late. I'm sure you've noticed.
It's mild, other than the fact that the day has died.
Indeed. But then, supplies and guidance up to this dream hall, as you call it. What we
We-
call the Ember Temple.
We will not go all the way to the Dream Hall at the moment. But
Of course.
we can take you a part of the way. One NPC down, another NPC up.
That would be most welcome, I'm sure. Thank you.
And when you go to the Dream Hall, if you happen upon a Volkos or any of his young wards, you must tell them of the chieftain. And that Ungreth tells him there is an Alting. He will understand that he must get back to prevent Call.
How far is it from your village, the Dream Hall?
Maybe about 2 weeks.
And I look to the group and I say, another 2 weeks
Jesus Christ.
to the Dream Hall, if that is the Amber Temple.
I mean, it's gonna be, isn't it?
Good job we stocked up on rations.
Wish I'd got more arrows.
Well, I'm sure.
Maybe these guys have got some
Re-equipping.
arrows.
Maybe they have. They just fired them at me.
We'll trade for them. We want all of their arrows.
We only have
All of the
crossbows.
arrows they have.
Cora's just creeping off like while this woman's like kind of talking, like just picking up all her spare arrows and searching around the area.
Come then. And he sort of looks over to her with the bow still drawn. He's like, "Put your bow down, Nidis."
Can we say, DM, for the sake of convenience, that if anybody wants to speak to any of these guys, they can just like roleplay speaking, and
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
roleplay that. I book it out.
Yeah, totally. Otherwise, it just becomes like
Awkward
any,
and
like
annoying.
any other session. You talking and no one else.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know, if everybody else picked spells that they could speak to all the foreign folk, that would be fine.
He's got to speak with dead. He's got to speak with everyone.
I can't speak to animals.
Cora, yeah, I would say Cora can speak to animals.
So can Halvor. He just doesn't.
I can only do it as a ritual, which is awkward.
Yeah.
Okay, so being led over to the waterfall, you see that there is a path through it.
Of course. Standard
And
waterfall.
It, of course, magic waterfall, and it opens up to a site that is similar to this. So it's obviously nighttime in this picture that I'm about to show you. Instead, it's this sort of size and layout, except instead of cottages, they are more like yurts. But there is a single, there's about this many tents, and there is a single wooden building. But just to give you an example of what the the layout of the tent is, probably something quite a bit like this.
There's only one type of tent I want to see right now, DM.
Is it a yurt?
Very yurtish. Oh, you do not own any tokens with vision in this scene.
It's global illumination, this map, so that shouldn't matter.
Still have to have a token. Oh, are our tokens placed on there?
No, because it's global illumination, so you don't have tokens on your splash screens. Can everybody else see it okay?
I just got a black square.
You might have token vision on in the settings for the scene.
Shit, son.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, would you look at that? Which skilled map maker made this map, DM?
I know. This is Tom Kartos, everybody. This is a map by the Mad Cartographer.
The Mad Cartographer.
Yes. There are no sleds here. Being led through this camp, you notice several things. This will be particularly fresh in Lindsay and Alex's mind because they're rewatching it. It is very much like when Jon Snow is being led through the wildland camp to meet Tormund. That sort of layout. People are stopping and paying attention. Something that Halvor would notice is
A giant.
there are a noticeable number, maybe 5 or 6 through your walk the village, very large dire wolves that seem to be integrated into the town.
But not winter wolves.
No, not the sort of not the monstrous winter wolves you saw. Actual dire wolves.
And you mean by integrated, like almost tame?
Almost domesticated, yeah. And the man that you have heard refer to himself as Ungriff takes you over towards the wooden building, and you enter what seems to be
a bit of a gathering area. Now, the map I'm about to load is clearly very Viking long haul, or someone who's I can't even remember what it's called. You'll remember, Alex. What's your surname, man? Halvor. Well, what's in Whiterun in Skyrim? The cool people that has Farkas and
Jarlhall.
Vargas. No,
Oh,
there's
where
like
the companions live.
The companions, that was it. The Guild of Dudes I was going with. Yes, where the Guild of Dudes live. Just to avoid the madness of juggling maps and many, many tokens, please use your imagination to accept that you would have picked up quite a crowd walking here, and this hall would be now relatively busy with a number of people who are just sort of gathering, eating, drinking, and a fair bit of fighting and generic Viking-esque revelry.
I'm not on this scene.
Oh gosh, you're not. I apologise. Let's add you back in. There you go.
Hooray! This is very the companions.
It is very the companions, isn't it? I feel like it might actually be someone's tried to make a map of where the companions live.
And by someone, you mean afternoon maps?
Is that who this is?
Yes.
Oh, I so zoomed in that I didn't have in the corner the great big patreon.com/afternoon maps.
Do you just know all the map makers' art styles just by glance now?
Yeah, he's plagiarized them all so much.
Pretty much.
So yeah, you enter a rather large hall with maybe about 30, 40 people in.
This is very tranquil music for
Ungriff.
we're about to have.
The what?
The massive ruckus.
The massive red wedding.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It looked like the Red Wedding place.
A Danheim. What else was Danheim?
Oh, such Viking-y music.
Damn.
Feel all meditative.
Bit of Enya.
We turn it off. Yeah, it's dark.
Atmospheric.
We're in a new place. I could start you. I know I've deleted it now. Yeah, so Ungriff just takes you over and just hands you all flagons that he dips into like a bit of an open barrel and foists a large flagon or horn, whichever one you would prefer to be having. I know which one Alva would rather be holding on to. And
Barrel.
The phallic-shaped one.
And yeah, holds his drink up and bids you all drink. And he, after
Does it appear to be some kind of ale?
It appears to be ale.
Good lord. I neck it. Down in one.
It's good. It is not wine. And
Yeah, I
after
down
a
it,
moment,
and then
he hands a flagon to Calder as well, and just gives him a solemn nod. His man's dead.
yeah, after downing it, I just raise it to him and give him a nod of approval.
I will kind of like say a few foreign words, like I'm doing some kind of blessing before I drink it, but I am going to cast Purify Food and Drink just in case this weird shit that's going to get me poisoned. Fuck.
Remind me, doesn't that remove all flavour from it? Or am I thinking of something else?
All non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius, sphere, point of your choice within range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
Cool, okay, yeah.
I'll do it away from the other stuff because I don't want. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to necessarily make it non-alcoholic or anything.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. Because alcohol is a poison.
Yeah, but that's just
Bit of a heavy-handed message.
a DM discretion thing. So
It's also lame.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I am not trying to de-alcohol it, but I'm gonna have a little taste of it. How does it taste, DM?
You've tasted stronger beer back home, but they've probably just grown what they can, made it with what they can get to grow up here, and maybe a few other added things.
Tastes okay.
Taste ambery. Yeah. Yeah,
The
tastes
amber
okay.
nectar.
Tastes okay. It is
Okay.
the amber nectar. They live rustic lives, but not filthy animals. It's awful of you.
No, hey, what? Do you presume my presumptions? Okay. I will cast prestidigitation on it and make it taste like wine, a really nice flavored wine, while I drink it.
Okay. And he just sort of eyes you doing your whatever you're doing over it. Seems mildly amused by it. Doesn't give it much mind. And he goes and just starts asking. Well, yeah, you understand all of it. Asking how
For an hour.
Yeah, you've got a little bit. I see you have a little bit left. Sort of asks him what happened with the dagger dog, and a lot of people as well. I won't keep doing it, but people are frequently horrified by Sir Eric's appearance, and Ungarith sort of never seems to stray far from Sir Eric, and just keeps explaining to people that it's okay, and he speaks for him, and people seem mollified after a moment by that. But still stare the fuck out of Sir Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Calder recounts the tale that you're familiar with of the devil dog coming in on the camp that they had just found and were spending the night in. And yes, the dagger dog killed everybody else in the group. Everyone nearby is sort of listening, and word spreads that the chieftain is dead, and there's obviously the sort of upset reactions that you'd expect. And there's a lot of cursing about the dagger dog being done. What's everybody else doing?
Kind of sticking close by to the only person that seems to be able to properly communicate with these guys. And presumably we can still hear that sounds close?
Yeah, sounds quite distant.
Oh, quite distant now. Okay. So further away than it was before.
Yeah.
At some point, I, with Bartandalus as a mouthpiece, want to explain to them that the reason Sir Eric is here is because he wants to slay the rock, and gauge their reaction on that.
Ooh,
I feel like you can kind of just rope it out, like you're like talking, like when you have like a translator, so you'd be talking to them, and I'm kind of like on the side.
Yeah, we'll
Sure,
go with
we'll
that
speak
as
to,
long as whilst we're both talking, if Bartandalus does do what he just did an impression of. He needs to dress like Mr. Bean and be Boris's sign language guy at the edge.
Literally the worst person I've ever seen.
So yeah, what's the name of the guy we were speaking to just now?
Ungrif.
Yes, him. Sir Eric, he originates from the lowlands, and his ultimate goal, keeping him in this life, is to slay the rock.
Why? What did it
He
do
is
to
a-
him?
I believe it's accosted some of his fellows, but I think mainly it's the prodigiousness of the ultimate hunt. He is a skilled hunter.
He sort of leans around you and looks Sir Eric up and down.
Maybe in his life. Perhaps.
Oh, he's fought by our side a couple of times. I wouldn't count him out just yet.
The winged one is sizable and is a great predator. It obviously has a ferocious appetite. Things get in its way. Horses. Or back when mammoths roamed, though there were never many. The winged ones soon made short work of them. Occasionally, it brings us a gift. When there is famine, when the crops don't take, or when the hunt is bad, sometimes the winged one will bring a great offering and leave it in the ruins outside. But nature is cruel, there is give and take. Sometimes someone will be taken when the winged one itself goes hungry.
And perhaps one day it itself will be slain.
That is very possible. Its mate fell prey to the dagger dog centuries ago, so they can be slain.
The dagger dog killed a rock.
My grandfather's grandfather told him, and he told me and anyone who would listen.
Truly as fearsome as the tales, then.
The winged one snatched up the dagger dog and made to carry it off to its nest, perhaps to feed its young, perhaps just to dash it upon the rocks. But it plunged its dagger deep into its heart, and both fell, though the dagger dog survived. Since then, there has been but one winged one. It circles endlessly looking for its mate.
That's quite depressing.
Oh yes, tell your friend, the winged one can be slain, but it serves a purpose.
Do you know about the origins of the dagger dog? How long has it been in this area?
As long as our tribe has had words.
And there's only one?
Oh, yes. Or we would be probably lowlanders ourselves now. There are a number of unusual creatures on the mountainside. Strange, unnatural things. The dagger dog is by far the most twisted, the most hateful and dangerous.
Do you have any images of it that your people was warning to pass on, or anything like that?
We tell our stories. We pass on our words. A great, furless wolf with a terrible extra tail, like a tail on the back that ends in a horrid bud with a dagger that emerges from it, eyes that glow, and throughout its body, jagged spikes.
How big is it?
Maybe fit 3, perhaps 4 in this hall.
Does that description ring any bells, DM?
Make me an Arcana check. It does not. You do know from the description and your kind of knowledge of the world that something that seems to have be described as at a base level of being of quite a beastly
sort of composition or shape, but then to have something as unnatural as a dagger as part of it is very unlikely to be a natural beast. It could be some sort of aberration or monstrosity
Construct
or
or
demon.
something.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like it's just an animal.
Mm-hmm.
That unfortunately is the extent of what you can
Mm.
eat.
It is a ferocious predator. Its bite and its sting turns the blood to poison sludge in my veins. And it kills, unlike an animal or a wolf or even the great winged one, which kills to feed. This kills just to kill. It is a vengeful beast.
I presume it never comes into the town.
No, we keep ourselves. The beast seems to have an affinity. It is drawn towards to a small amount magic and the skills that Krael and yourself would demonstrate. But items imbued with magic, that is what it lusts for. It is drawn to items that are magical. And when it kills and when it consumes, it carries off those items, never to be seen again.
Seems like it'd be quite hard for us to avoid between here and the Dream Hall.
It ranges from the Dream Hall down to the Great Jade Flame. A whole mountain is its hunting ground.
So just fortunate that we've not come across it yet.
Perhaps, or perhaps it's stalking you, gauging what sort of threat you pose. It will not have crossed through the waterfall. It knows that even though it would likely have a grave toll on our village, we could at least do it lasting injury. If the whole town, village, mobilized.
You think this is a greater threat than the rock?
Yes, the rock might take someone, some foolish traveler, every so many years. Quite often, an elder will forestall that by ending their days, offering themselves up to it. That the dagger dog is just a menace.
I look to Sir Eric. Your desire to hunt the rock, is that for vendetta, or is it simply it's the greatest quarry that you know of?
It is the greatest predator in these lands. Long it eluded me. Several times. Its exertions disrupt our work. Horses are... You make a bond with horses as you work together, and to see it plucked off into the sky, to hear those cries. Yes, I seek the sport of taking it down.
It seems that people here sometimes rely on the rock. They say that there is a greater threat in Dagger Dog that we've heard of. A greater challenge, perhaps, than your rock. What say
Twisted
you?
wolf could offer no greater challenge than the rock.
Apparently, it slew the previous rock generations past.
They lie. Surely, a wolf.
I don't think it's any normal wolf. An abomination, to be sure.
Wolf-like, but more of a monstrous creature than anything else.
Like nothing that anyone down in Barovia has seen before. It has eluded these people for centuries, perhaps. What say you about going for perhaps even a greater quarry? Do you think hunting this dagger dog, do you think you would feel fulfilled in your goal?
If it is, as you say, as they claim, the greater prize, none have tracked it in centuries.
You'd be quite the legend.
No, not so much your primitives, the black. Find out more. I will consider this.
I nod.
His eyes with a bit of a faint glow, and he just steps off and takes a seat on what I thought was a bench at first, but apparently has just gone and sat on the kitchen counter.
I mean, it's a 5-foot wide bench otherwise.
Yeah.
I look to the group, say, if we had our doubts about whether to slay the rock or not, backed up by people here and their reliance on it, delivering them food when they need it, if we can convince Sir Eric, then could help those of Argynvost and those of the clan.
Hey, I'm all about making sure that rock stays alive.
Sounds like a good way of pleasing everybody, especially if the dagger dog is likely to show its face when we least expect it.
What was that giggle?
That was.
Every time Halvor speaks, Ungrif is just quietly like tittering away.
Do you know where this dagger dog lairs?
Higher up the mountain, but none venture, as I'm sure you can imagine, too close. Its territory has grown. It has killed several other twisted creatures over the years. We would hear about it happening, or notice a creature had stopped appearing or been killed maybe once every 5-10 years. But now it is almost unopposed. It slew the great scaled one not 5 years past, and since then it has ranged freely all the way down to the great jade flame.
Great scaled one.
Another creature that used to dwell here. It ruled over the lower reaches of the mountain. A large bulbous head, sharp teeth, fingers and claws webbed like it were to swim, though it never did. And through its shoulder, a large, jagged piece of what you called the Stone of Flame.
Our friend here, and I look over to Sir Eric. We are almost beholden to him in the aid of killing the rock. But his desire is simply that of hunting a great prey, the greatest prey in his eyes. We know that it could potentially cause upset among your people if you see it as something that delivers to you in times of need. He doesn't believe that this dagger dog of yours was able to kill the old rock. Do you have any proof that such a thing ever happened, that one even ever existed? Remains or anything?
We burned it. The meat was spoiled. We have many...
And he walks up the length of the hall to like the wall behind like the high table, where there's just very, very simple like artwork and adornments behind it that are just a large number of obviously well respected but clearly aged and brittle numerous, like more than 100 rock feathers or rock-sized feathers.
And I will say, sure. I can't gesture to the display from the rock that was. The one that was killed by the dagger dog.
That is too many who have just been shed. They're all of the same age. Don't see. Ask them where it lays.
They say at the top of the mountain. I'm sure they can get us some ways, but they wouldn't follow us all.
Good. Good. This will make for fine sport.
And I look at what's your man called?
Which one?
The new guy.
You mouse over him. Ungra.
Mousing, is that working now? Oh, nice. That never worked before, and now it does. Love it. Then I look to Ungrith and say,
Frightens me every bloody time.
And say,
do you think you could delay the alting?
I have no right to. What would the reason be?
To honor your dead momentarily and give us time to kill Dagger Dog. Perhaps a few days of celebration over that might give us enough time to get to the Dream Hall and back.
We honor them by remembering them. There is no reason to delay. I see the sense in your words for what we discussed earlier, but we all are free here.
he points at the high table. He's like,
Stand on the table. Try and convince everyone. They'll listen. If they will hear your words as I can, they will decide for themselves.
but he points over to the guy the only other token on the map, because we're going to put 100 other people on here, sat with a group of men. You know, sort of, he's quite quiet as everyone around him's talking at the table. But Col, we'll seize the chance for an old thing.
Do you think you could keep it hidden? He doesn't know that it has happened yet. He doesn't know the death of the chieftain.
There's people swimming all around us. I've already mentioned that Calder told the tale, and there was a general ripple of response to it. So I imagine by this point he's heard it.
Okay, yes.
Black veils are being worn.
The bells start chiming outside.
Shaven heads are being doffed.
And then I look to Halvor and Cora and say,
Do we wish to try and delay it? I mean, I don't know if it's any business of ours anyway.
Depends how much an advantage you think it would be to us.
I'd say you also feel that your spell's going to need topping up any minute now, Bartender.
sure. As soon as it goes and I start and all these start in the background, then I'll recast it.
I was more imagining you just start slurring speech. I don't know about that. Blah, blah.
I look to Ungreth again and say,
We brought the boy back and aided him, got him here safely. With that, there was agreement that you would take us to the Dream Hall in payment. Yes?
As close as we will tread.
Of course.
Yes.
If we kill the Dagger Dog for your people and eliminate a great threat to you and yours, would you aid us when we seek alliance, aid, killing a threat of ours?
In the lowlands.
In the lowlands. I understand that might be a decision for your chieftain. If we could delay the Alting to bring your men back from the Dream Hall and slay Dagger Dog, do you think he would be open to agreeing on such terms that you would help us when we put out the call?
Makes things more complicated. Col is bloodthirsty. If future help in a battle is what you want, Col is who you want to win the old thing. He is a man prone to violence, for violence's sake. The offer to go into the lowland and start a fight, he would jump at it. Volkos would let each man decide for themselves.
and I relay these words to the group as my spell ends, and I guess.
Perhaps I'll throw my own hat in the ring and headbutt them all to death.
But you must remember, the most important thing is our...
I'd probably instantly recast in case anybody was saying this.
Up to the elbow.
Covered in piss. It's Phoenix Nights where he's drying his hands on the hand dryer. Icicle bomb covered in piss. Let me cast my spell again.
I think my people and I need to talk upon what our next move should be. Is there
Volkos
somewhere
will
private?
remain. Volkos will be at the Dream Hall for about another month. We could not delay that long.
No, we'll not be that long. Said it's 2 weeks away, but 2 weeks back as well. Couldn't delay a month even. So there's no way the alting is going to happen.
The alting will happen as soon as word is spread beyond these walls.
By the end of the day.
Volkos may. There is no day.
By the end of 8 warm shirts.
Volkos is busy guiding the young ones. He wouldn't. It would be difficult for him to rush back. He would either have to leave them alone in the Dream Hall or interrupt their coming of age. It is a terrible time for your mother to have died, Keldur. We pat him on the shoulder.
Is it against your ways
God,
to
what a
challenge?
reminder.
Yeah. Is it against your ways to challenge a chieftain?
No, if I felt I was worthy of leadership, then I would. But I lost the old thing once before.
So even when Caldgrove returns, he could still... I don't know. One of them could challenge the other one when he comes back from the hall.
He could, but there's politics then, and Col would have his agents and his loyalists in place. The old thing is a chance to wipe the slate clean and go head to head. I lost to my sister. I would not have a chance against Col.
Perhaps we should speak to him ourselves and see if we can get the measure of him.
By all means. And he just points down the hall to the only other token. Surrounded by lackeys.
In Volkos's absence, would it be inappropriate for someone to fight in his stead?
I think there would be nothing more shameful.
Shame.
I'm affronted you even suggested it. Get out! Get out!
I don't see how it can be shameful. He had no choice but to miss it.
If a stand-in were to win, Volkos would then need to kill that stand-in when he came back. Otherwise, it would always be said that the one who had fought for him had won the day.
I see. I presume you don't want any outsiders ruling the clan.
You don't know always.
No, but I could kill any one of you.
Oh. Not with that voice you couldn't.
No, with these hands.
God, Halvor.
I mean, we can have a go if you want. It's been a quiet night.
Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
A couple more ales in me and we'll see.
And he just immediately picks 2 flagons up and hands them both to you.
Drink them both.
Maybe
Like a man who's thirsty for ale.
Constitution saving throw. Well, I couldn't know what the DC is. Being drunk, actually.
Yeah, DC 10's the standard. Unless it's... And you already said it's not particularly strong.
No, it's definitely not. If you've been drinking fortified wine for a couple of months, haven't you? Was this spell template drawn for any particular reason?
Oh, it's where the poison thing got cast.
Oh, okay.
It is not against your ways to let outsiders challenge in the altar.
Say again, sorry?
Is it against your ways to let outsiders challenge in the altar?
They
Or is
could.
it your family?
It is of the clan. Someone who wanders in and claims the Alting doesn't know our people or the mountainside or the politics of a village. We don't know anything about the flora or the fauna or our wildly shifting and inconsistent accents.
No, just Welsh. Welsh through
Oh no,
and
no.
through.
We've had.
I'm trying to stick to Welsh, but it quite often falls off, I find.
We've had over 2 years of shifting accents. We're very much used to it.
And that's just Alvor.
Right, come on then. And he's going to throw a punch at you, Halvor.
Oh shit.
What did you do?
Oh, he only has great axe.
He throws a punch that
Yeah.
is clenching a great axe.
He's going to do it recklessly. These are punches, not axes. He's a big man, and he swings, and he misses. Go on. First one to 5 hits, Halvor.
Should I assume that I don't have a shield at my side?
I presume you don't.
Let me unequip it.
It's a fist fight.
Does that hit without a shield?
No. But I do need to turn it off.
Your attacks have advantage, by the way, because he is just swinging super recklessly.
Does a crit count for 2?
It wasn't a nat, was it?
No, you said he gets advantage, so he gets to roll again. I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
so
yeah,
if he,
yeah.
if he crits, does that include count as 2?
Yeah. Well, these are both him swinging at Halvor first.
Oh shit, okay.
Hang on, I'm confused
God,
by.
Halvor, he's beat the shit. He's knocked you unconscious while you're like, my mum said I can't get wet. Straight to a crit. So yeah, clocks for 2. Roll another one. 'Cause he's done 2. Oh, went 2 for 2.
Rolling like a
No,
beast.
crit was 2.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, 3 to 2.
3, 2.
3, 3. Tell me how you knock him out.
He's swinging recklessly, and as he comes in with another big one, thinking he can beat down a smaller man, I just duck under it and clock him in the jaw with all my strength.
He falls into the fiery furnace in the middle. Oh!
And yeah, there's just a raucous laughter and cheering as Ungarith goes down through a table. A table goes like near enough in half as he goes down hard on it, and ale spills everywhere, and there's just raucous laughter. And Nearest comes over to him, looks you up and down, and then gives him a bit of a hard kick in the hip. And after a moment, he sort of blinking his eyes, opens, and just flops back a bit, absolutely laughing his head off.
Well, he did say that he lost to his sister at the Alting, so.
Too soon.
Yeah, he gets up, like a bit of blood trickling down from his cheek, and just absolutely like one arm over you. Was that you? For a second, it feels like he's going for that arsehole like headlock hug, but he's not. He just kind of just drapes an arm over you, and is very, very entertained. Seems
seems to have no ill will, despite the trouncing he was just given.
Double.
Two crits.
Oh yes.
Brings them out when it counts.
Yeah.
The beauty of reckless attack. Yeah, we definitely top up on ale and continue.
Drinking buddies all night, them two now.
Yeah. Nearest seems to start hovering around a bit more as well. After that display.
Did it all catch?
It did.
Thingy's eye.
Yes. Webber would crash. You and Cora would both have noticed that he sort of turned on the bench, pretty much watching your side saddle, just watching it take place. And then at the end, he just sort of smirks and turns back to his table. Continues talking in his. He's talking. You can tell from like how animated everybody's around, but everyone around him is probably drunk and is quite loud and boorish. He's not
calculated.
Yeah, he's not like whispering conspiratorially. He's replying to people, but he just seems to reply quietly, infrequently.
Talking business.
Yeah, they're all pissheads.
He's gonna go out and do a montage in the snow in preparation for his big fight.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun,
Hungry
dun,
for-
dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun.
So Umgriff sort of clapping
Nailed it!
Halvor on the shoulder, looks to, I can't remember if it was Halvor or to Bartandalis. I say, before Silk Whisper here gave me a good scene to, you were asking about somewhere to retire to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It points to a room, like a guest hall. You'll all have to go in there. It'll be a bit of a cram, I imagine, but enough. There's a bed in there, and enough furs, and a brazier. But it should see you good for the night.
Slept in worse the last few days, so thank you.
Before we go, and your spell runs out again, Bartandalis, can we ask him, please, about whether or not he's seen Harris or anyone else come this way?
There you go. She asks him, and I translate.
You're the first lowlanders I've seen up here in over 10-15 years.
No tracks or artifacts left behind?
No. But few come to our village unless we know about it. And
True, it is.
we don't have cause to range downhill too much. So if you know you're on the trail of someone and they were headed to the Dream Hall, well, depends how much you'd said actually, but we go up the hill, then don't be disheartened. Volkos has made it up there, and he's dragged some pissant children. If your friends are capable, they'll have gotten up.
He's clearly more capable than I thought to have got this far, so hopefully you're right.
No way to speak about your friend.
I mean, I thought he was dead, chopped to pieces by a crazy abbot.
A what?
Oh,
How does a rabbit chop someone up?
not a rabbit.
Oh, DM, he wouldn't take my translation so literal. He would, because I can't speak his language, so he'd be like, "Oh, the holy man,
The shaman.
which, the shaman."
I don't think you actually said. What is it you seek at the Dream Hall?
Answers. Dun dun dun.
I nod along.
He turns to Caldo. He's like,
You have a tent now. You have your own home. Best get it in order. I'll be round to see you tomorrow. I will do what your mother should have done sooner and tell you about your responsibilities now.
Bring a woman.
Calder, or a man, we don't judge. Calder, sort of gives like a bit of a muted nod. Goes back to the first ale that he's still nursing. All I would say is if you have artifacts and items on your person that use or create magic, do not use them whilst you are here. You'll draw the dagger dog somewhat closer, and enough, and we have trouble on our hands.
How does that work with items that just are inherently magic?
He kind of gives a bit of a shrug.
Then
It's a question
Probably.
for Cryel.
fortunately, I couldn't find his skull to chat with.
What?
Understood. I fear it may be unavoidable. Besides, if we are intending to go on a hunt the dagger dog, then magic items, it seems like, is good bait.
Just not here.
No, not
Only
here.
one way to disrupt an old thing.
The dagger dog is the new chieftain. Killed everybody.
He goes and opens a door into a room for you.
Wants us to leave then. I've been here for an hour.
No, he's showing you your room.
You show somebody at the end of the night when they're ready for bedding down, surely. He's gonna murder Halvor in there. I'm in here.
Try.
Yeah.
Move Nearest into the room. Halvor and Nearest is going at it in front of all of you.
Wow.
What did I just say about magic?
It's just pitch black. I've only got my vision around me, so it's like just pitch black in this entire room, apart from your light sources.
What? But there's light sources everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I'm here, if I have it turned off, then... Oh, I mean, I've revealed it now, but yeah, I couldn't, like, if I was stood here, I couldn't see anything outside of my circle of vision. It's been weird.
What?
I think I'm having some shenanigans tonight with my...
There's a whole bunch of fireplaces down there emitting light.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can see all. No, I can see all here.
His
I
PC's
just
being
couldn't-
stupid tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
couldn't-
to be fair, it is definitely the case that light, there are... Because the light sources in this room are that end of the fire pit. So it probably does end around here, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's something around here because there's like a glow around it. Oh no, it's Halvor. Halvor's the
Yeah.
glow around here.
So when you walked off,
Yeah.
it plunged you into dark.
Huh, I didn't realise I had a light. I'll check that.
Now it's...
Ugh!
Yeah, see?
I see what you mean.
Terribly lit and seen by the DM.
No, it's just that's the end of the fire pit they're in.
And it's pitch black at this other end.
People who want to actually leave the building have to carry torches, otherwise they just don't know where they're going.
No,
Boom.
that's the make out end of the building.
So this is the thing, like here, now, I can't even see the door because it's in darkness. So the door icon doesn't even exist for me.
Nighttime, mate. We wouldn't be in this building normally.
Global lighting, just turn it on. Use lighting for ambience. It's dog shit all this dark.
I'm the mega-photographer.
How many people buy your fucking foundry packs?
All of
Point
my foundry
proven.
packs.
Point proven.
Is it?
Point proven.
He's never not had people buy his foundry packs.
That's true.
Got an uptake of 100%.
So, Ungrif takes a seat. Nearest sort of leaning on, goes over next to bartender list and just sort of sits on the edge of a bar and just continues drinking. Eyes fixed on Halvor.
I scream as somebody sits next to me in the darkness.
What would you all like to do?
I think we need a candid chat amongst ourselves. So I feel like we'd probably just drink and eat and get warm and cast some weird magic.
Ooh.
It's light! Are you happy now?
Yeah, he said he wanted some light.
That's my summoning for the dagger dog.
All of
Just
the
cast
I get a
It's
nasty
casting
feeling that we're going to be
light on a
drawing him
stone.
wherever we are.
So I think we will drink, enjoy company, kind of like, you know.
Is that the dagger dog?
He's just doing it because we did the light.
It's not a dagger dog.
Is that the dagger dog?
Ken Dodd's dad's dogger dog's dad. Okay. So I feel like we need to have a candid chat about what we're gonna do. So let's go in the room at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You know, we've been, unless anybody wants to say anything to anybody else at the moment.
Yeah, any other conversations you want to have with any of the natives using...
Halvor's going to go and pick a fight with everyone in there, isn't he? One by one.
Do you think now is the time to speak to Carl, or another time in the morning, perhaps?
Perhaps in the morning, but I wanted to speak to. Thought we should all speak about it first before we made any decisions.
Very well.
Do we get involved? Does it matter to us who leads?
I'm not sure it's really our place, and I don't think that we really know everybody well enough to say who should and shouldn't.
Indeed. Oh, he's standing in the corner.
With his friend Strahd stood in the other corner.
I couldn't even see him from here. I just looked at Lindsay's screen and she could see him.
I
And
don't
we've been in
trust-
this position before with trying to overthrow a leader.
Yeah, I mean, albeit that worked out quite well.
Yeah, we knew a little bit more about the situation, I feel.
As you say, I mean, it's a choice between the two of them. And there's no chance that Volkos
Volvo.
Volvo, yeah.
he's never going to be back in time, and they're not interested in a substitute. They're not interested in someone an outsider leading. That would be horrendous for them. So it doesn't seem like there's much that can be done. Like, other than something underhand, and I don't think that now is the time for such a thing.
No, I
wouldn't
agree.
exactly win favor with the rest of the team, I feel, either.
Plus, like Ungrat said, perhaps a leader who favors fighting would be in our interest as it is.
So you're saying that we kill Volkos at the Dream Hall?
whether Volkos survives is irrelevant.
No. I agree. We don't know these people's ways. But
I don't know, it kind of feels like home.
yeah, more for you than us. But it's been welcoming, at least. Definitely a welcome respite.
Hey, and if they can barter with me to get some arrows, all the better.
Indeed.
Don't let me forget that I need to do that in the morning.
So, the Dagger Dog.
The Dagger Dog.
The
Dagger dog. Is that real?
They just want to make you jump. Go
Ah!
on, both on the list.
The Dagger Dog.
The dagger dog.
The
The dagger dog. The dagger dog.
If this is something that is agreeable to Sir Eric, if you feel that it would put you at peace, as it were, overcoming such a feat of skill, and I feel two birds with one stone. We help the people here. They would be indebted to us. We help Sir Eric and gain further allegiance of Argynvoss. And let's face it, 2 weeks between here and the Amber Temple, there's a good chance that we're gonna come across it anyway, so I'd sooner it be on our terms and we go and hunt it than it unhunt us.
Certainly would be the most positive outcome.
So Eric just gives a long pause and then just gives a slow single nod.
Very well. We prepare, find out everything we can about it, and then we go and kill it. I can't imagine that there'll be many people from the village that are prepared to make such an undertaking, but you never know. We could get word out there that there's some folks prepared to go and kill it. Maybe there's a few brave souls that want to be part of some legend. A
That
saga,
sounds like something that Carl would be interested in.
perhaps. Something for the morning, though, perhaps. When clearer heads can prevail.
Are we to bed down for now then? Esmeralda, with a croaky voice from disused, asks.
Just flies come out. I think, and I look around the group, and then I look to Caspin. Perhaps this journey to the Dagger Dog is one that you should maybe sit out. Have your respite here. Practice your abilities so that you're stronger for when we head to the Amber Temple.
I understand the logic in what you are saying to a degree, but you were adamant that I should come with you for the journey, for the journey's sake. And now, having taken me out of the town, you wish to leave me in this tribal village?
I feel confident that you are safer here than any place off this mountain. Down in Barovia, there is nowhere that you could have been the Strahd would not have got to you. Perhaps the same could be said up here. I don't know. But we've faced a few challenges and threats along the way. You have a strong heart, but you are not a seasoned fighter yet. If everything is to believe what we're hearing, then this Dog is gonna create quite the fight for us. I would sooner not have to constantly watch you. Though you have been
He's smart. At
instrumental,
That. He's smart at that.
you have helped us greatly, Caspian, with these abilities that you have started to uncover. But you are not there yet. I think the time to truly be able to sit and rest, focus. I do not doubt that when we come back, you will be 10 times the fighter that you were first to this. To put your pride to one side for just a moment. This isn't about that. This is about you being the best that you can be when we fight an even greater challenge, the Amber Temple.
Then I shall stay and study and rest.
I missed the last bit, but then it dropped a smirk. I'll sit and rest. What did you say?
Recuperate, and then he cast Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion.
Oh yeah.
Better remember to delete that. Yeah, so he looks a bit stumped.
Crestfallen.
Yeah.
That's fine. Better than being fucking dead again.
Yeah.
He's fucking 2 HP.
He doesn't have 2 HP, he has 10.
Nice. 3 more than me.
So, you are bedding down here. In the morning, you're gonna try and get more information on the Dagger Dog? And
The
then
Dagger Dog.
set up for it. So we will call next week the Dagger Dog Hunt.
The Dagger Dog.
Do 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 do.
Do do do.
Do 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 do.
Let's maybe change its name.
Well, through community feedback on the stream, every time a joke is made about the Dagger Dog, its name, the damage of one of its abilities goes up by 1.
Oh no!
Fine. I'll take it.
It is worth it.
It is the alliteration on Dagger Dog is just too easy.
Caston, got multi-attack 4. Oh, Casper attacks 43 d20.
Nice. He's pretty strong.
So, if we are... I'm spamming hydrate. I've got no drink. I've waved me empty mug like 5 times at the webcam. If we are bedding down, is anyone staying awake or doing any sort of watch? Or are you just calling it a... Are you assuming safety and all just getting a good night's sleep?
Sir Eric's gonna stand in the
Yeah.
corner.
He literally does stand in the corner.
So Eric can keep a watch out and a listen out for any Dagger Dog noise.
Do-do-do-do-do.
The Dagger Dog.
Do-do-do-do.
4d20?
Yeah, we're not in the wilds, and we have Sir Eric's ever watchful eye. So I'd say I'd feel pretty happy sleeping away.
Yeah.
Okay. First time in several nights not having Kaldur with you. You settle down. Do you leave the brazier burning for the night, or does someone extinguish it this time?
No. Leave it burning. I feel
Like
like
the
we've been
warmth.
in the darkness all the time. With like the warmth and light and
Yeah,
the comfort.
that's good. But yeah,
Curl up by the fire.
I will. While we all start nodding, I will cast prestidigitation on it, so it dims the light a little bit, but it's still the warmth is still there, and it's just a nice glow, but not so distracting that it keeps us awake. So we all drift into a nice slumber.
Okay. Nice. And then you all drift to an unusually uneventful sleep. There is no
Oh.
there is no horror or drama or mysterious grief. There is just different distant peal of thunder, Alvor, and you fall asleep feeling feeling comfort in your slightly renewed strength and the fact that it served you well today. You both resisted a shove and delivered some excellent punches.
Well done, Halvor.
Thanks.
And that's where we will call tonight's session, with next week being the Dagger Dog Hunt.
The dagger dog.
The dog de Chien. Does that count? That don't count, right? Dog de Chien.
What, the Dog de Chien?
Dag.
That's the dog of
Dog.
I was like, the dog of dog.
Dog de Chien.
Ah, okay. Well, that is where we'll end the stream. Anyone want to say what's Mad Photographer working on?
I'm currently working on whilst I've been doing this stream, I've been drawing. No, I don't. No, I needed my break. I am currently working on my map for the inside of a giant purple worm. So the map guts and like all the ventricles and the intestines of different rooms and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
Cool but gross.
Cool but gross.
Nice, surprisingly tasty. Excellent. I will end the stream now then. Thank you, everyone.
Adios, www.macacophotographer.com.
See you all next week.
The dagger dog.